273 for 2 in 35 overs. Well, this was India's game today against Afghanistan. Skipper Rohit Sharma, shining with the bat, also made a World Cup record of 7 World Cup centuries. Welcome to WION World of Cricket. I am Isha Hanspal, and with me in the studios is Dav Watmore. Dav, were we expecting that today?
Well, I was expecting a big win, as you know, but to see it, being scored emphatically by the captain. Again, we were privileged to see such a wonderful innings. This is the 5th or 6th.
Yeah.
Century scored. It was a really, really good one, and stamped the authority all over it. And it hasn't done the run rate any harm either. That's bumped it up. So it's a good result for India.
Well, crowds did come to see a Virat Kohli knock over there. It is his home ground after all. And Captain Rohit Sharma stole the show.
He did, and I actually said earlier on that maybe he won't get a bat. If these two openers get a start, there's every chance they could make 300 runs and win the game. So, I was hoping that wouldn't happen, and unfortunately Virat Kohli got a chance to come out there in front of his fans. It looks as though this could be his last World Cup competition, and then to not to have batted in front of his home fans would be terrible. But he did it today, and I'm sure that everyone was so happy just to see him again and to see his side have such an emphatic victory.
What was the last 6 that Shreyas Iyer hit? I think 101.1 metres, longest 6 in the history of World Cup. Couple of records made there.
Yeah, man, I tell you, he's a slightly built fella, but very strong too. And when you actually time it with a little bit of power, it really, really goes a long way. And 101 metres is that is quite something. That is quite something. Yeah.
Even for a run machine, a run-scoring wicket that we saw today.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, there was a number of sixes hit, but nothing as far as that.
Yeah.
So he takes the record of the furthest hit 6 in the tournament, I think.
Well, that's how the match unfolded today. If we can just go through that. In fact, both the captains came to the party today. Shahidi as well at Rohit Sharma. Very impressive knocks. Hashmatullah Shahidi just shy of 20 runs there for his century.
Yeah.
Would have been good to see him there make that ton. Also, Azmatullah Omarzai with a 62.
Both captains, as you said, made contributions, but in very contrasting ways.
Yeah.
Hashmatullah Shahidi, again, his role was to chip it around and be the glue. Everyone bats around him, but he has to bat longer than that.
Yeah.
And if he could only just turn that strike over a bit more often, it would be better. Azmatullah was promoted in the order, and he looks a reasonable customer, actually. Bowls okay, he'll improve. That he's moving in the Hardik Pandya mold. So a person who can bowl his 10 overs. He's only young, he's only just coming into the game, but I think he can be a valuable member going forward. Zadran, of course, is a very good player, but getting out at 22 is not on. And Ramanullah Gurbaz, he can bat long and bat big, but sadly for him, he went out. So 273, as you've spoken to me, it's never going to be nearly enough to put pressure on the very strong Indian team.
To be fair to Afghanistan, they did try to stabilise the innings in the beginning. They did go in a slow, I wouldn't exactly say slow, but assured way forward to put those runs across, to not lose wickets. But like you said, 273.
Well, yeah, I think you're kind. After 20 overs, though, they were only 83.
Yeah.
And that's maybe okay if you've lost 1 wicket, but they'd lost 3.
Yeah.
So there was 3 of their main players were back in the pavilion with only 83. So that puts a little bit of pressure on them to accelerate without losing wickets. And it didn't quite happen. So, they tried hard, no problem, but there is a gap. We're seeing gaps now between certain teams.
Yeah.
And depending on the condition of the pitch, it's exposing the gap.
Rashid Khan, with his IPL experience and knowing the Indian conditions all too well?
Yeah, certainly. Look, he still got hit around, but Rashid Khan is one of the one of the better bowlers were going around, even on a very good pitch like this one here at Arun Jaitley Stadium. So he got his 2 wickets, and 2 good wickets too, I'll have to say. And he will always remain a threat whoever faces him.
Well, Digvijay Singh Deo has been making sure that he has been getting us all the updates from the proceedings today at the Arun Jaitley Stadium. He was lucky enough to witness this run fest of sorts. Digvijay, if you can hear me, do tell me what the atmosphere is like at the stadium right now. Crowds were expecting a Virat Kohli show. Rohit Sharma showed up instead. How was it over there at the stadium? The exhilaration, the excitement, everything.
There was a joke. There was a joke going on in the press box, and I'm sure you both will have a chuckle about it, is that this is Delhi, this is Virat Kohli territory, and Rohit Sharma doesn't want Virat Kohli to bat. It's going to be his show in his in rival territory, if I could use this. That fun. I mean, no rivalry here, just having a bit of banter. But you asking me what the atmosphere is on the ground right now? Well, it's almost cleared out. Everyone's sort of just moving back on their way homes. Everyone got their money's worth. Those of them who've bought their tickets, and even those who get it free, because that's how the things are in Delhi, isn't it? Lots of free passes going around. But I was hearing your conversation with Dav. Just a pure exhibition of batting. The game was over in the first 10 overs. And I must say, Dav, and I need you to expand on this, the Afghanistan bowlers were bowling a lot of rubbish at point, you know. You saw Jasprit Bumrah hit the back of the length, but he was bowling it very fast. At the pace which the Afghanistan bowlers were bowling, it was cannon fodder. So much so that Ishan Kishan, who was really struggling so badly, even he almost got to a 50. So it was absolutely rubbish bowling from Afghanistan. They got slaughtered. But if you're going to bowl in Rohit Sharma's hitting zones on a pitch like this, where the balls you just trust the bounce and go for your shots, you're asking for trouble.
That's right, Diggy. That's a very good point, because what we're seeing now are big scores being made, and we know that there's some really good batsmen all over the world in these different teams, really good players. So when you come up against an attack that's, or I shouldn't say pop gun, but you know, a bit lesser in speed, it just becomes a lot easier on certain surfaces. So maybe the difference in the teams going forward will be not so much the ability of the batsmen to get runs, because we know they are very good. But it may come down to the ability of the bowlers to restrict those really good players. So in this case, you're right. It wasn't good. It was over basically in 10 overs, really, I was a little bit surprised, Diggy, that Rashid Khan didn't bowl until the 15th over. Yeah. He's your best bowler.
I was in fact going to ask you that question. I was going to ask that question to you. He's your main bowler. We've seen Satner bowl in the power play. We've seen that Dutch boy, Dutt, bowl in the power play. We've seen Ashwin bowl in the power play. What's your best bowler bowling in the 15th over when the game's over? I don't think this adds up. And if Afghanistan had any chance in the match, because and especially with the seamers getting tonked around all over the stadium, the best chance they had was for Rashid Khan to come in and try and stem the run flow attack and probably get a wicket.
I totally agree, and you know, he's your best bowler, and he finished up getting 2 wickets anyway. It's fair enough that they open with the off spinner Mujib. He's a bit of a mystery player, and he's used to doing that, but he really didn't make much of an impression either. So I would have thought you go to your next best at some point, at least before 15, you know, to try and get a breakthrough, open up one end, and you know, at least put some pressure on to try and get a second or a third wicket. But sadly, it wasn't meant to be. I think that was a mistake, Diggy. Yeah.
Also, Digvijay, while we're on that, we have been conducting polls. We did ask, did Afghanistan play too many dot balls? 80% yes, 20% no. You obviously witnessed all of that over there.
Should be 100%. Yes.
Absolutely. Also, India versus Afghanistan, who according to you was the man of the match? Digvijay, we know it was Rohit Sharma, but then did we see enough exhilaration?
Just Bumrah for me. Bumrah for me.
Okay, but the poll options, the poll options unfortunately were Rohit Sharma and Virat Kohli. Virat, like you said, is his home ground. But you know what?
It's a
The
batter's
crowns.
world, Isha. It's a batter's world. The batters
Absolutely.
always get the batters always get the applause. People come here to see
Yeah.
sixes, but imagine what was happening in the morning session. But on that wicket, for Bumrah to take 4 wickets for under 4 and over, outstanding.
No, I have to
Absolutely.
say it's got some merit. You know, I mean, nobody will take away the effort of Bumrah. It was really, it was a
Absolutely.
great effort to do that, and it showed the way for all the other bowlers. The other bowlers didn't do as
Yeah.
well either, but that was a masterclass by Rohit Sharma. Surely, I know the opposition may have not been that good. Mentally, they were down. And so his batsmanship became even more evident. I agree with, I think Rohit Sharma, but a big
Round of applause. to
for Justit Bumrah.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
You know the interesting bit, Dav, I think it was perhaps...
If you could give me some time.
Yeah, of course.
Can I ask a follow-up question to Dav, please?
yeah,
if you don't
go
mind?
ahead, go
Yes.
ahead. Yeah.
We've seen the evolution of Rohit. In fact, 2018, 2019, when India were really struggling and their format was very outdated of playing one-day cricket, especially, you had to have Shikhar Dhawan, who was then opening with him, and Rohit actually sort of solidifying and then going at the end. It's changed now. He's backing himself. The shots he hit today also were all in his hitting zone. He's not playing random shots or taking a risk. He's taking a calculated risk when the ball is there in his arc. And that's the evolution what we are seeing. He's what? His 7th century in the World Cups. He's hit the most number of six in international cricket. This is calculated stuff, and I want to ask Dav, how does a batter sort of approach that? This is my hitting arc. And how do you make that split-second sort of decision when you see the ball there or just about where you want it?
Well, it comes over time, over years of playing the game and understanding a game. And it also comes when you're in the zone. It sort of happens instinctively, because those sort of shots is very difficult to pre-plan. You're batting, you see it, and you just go for it. Provided, of course, you can trust the bounce, as you mentioned earlier. You can trust the speed of it. It's not going to change. Even the slow one is hittable, and he hit both left and right. And he also hit behind point as well, so he's got his range of scoring area is plenty. Front foot, back foot and square, straight and square. So it's very difficult to contain a guy when he's on top mentally. The bowlers are down mentally. The wicket's good. The outfields are fast and not very long. So it was a masterclass. Absolute. We're all privileged to have seen it.
Also, Digvijay, I think you conducted that poll before you left for the stadium, and the options he gave were Rohit Sharma and Virat Kohli.
Yeah.
Not me.
Okay, so we also conducted another poll which asked who was Afghanistan's best player. Let me first read out the options. Hashmatullah Shahidi or Azmatullah Omarzai. Okay, why don't you guys give your winner in this particular poll first? Digvijay, who is yours? Then I'll come to Dav after that. Who was Afghanistan's best player?
Omarzai, without a doubt. The way he took on the Indian bowlers, that was actually good fun to watch.
I agree, Diggy. I would have said the same thing. It almost like he was. The captain's not going to do it, so let me at least knock a few runs to get this bloody run rate up.
Yeah.
So I think in his case, he was promoted in the order, and he responded after a while. I think he's got good potential. This guy. So I agree with you. In the Afghanistan 11. I think he would be the one that would probably get them out of the match for his team.
His performance, yeah. And the viewers also agree with you both. Omarzai gets 66.7% votes and Shahidi gets 33.3% of those votes. We conducted another interesting poll. Who will be the highest scorer for India? This was obviously before the Indian innings. Rohit Sharma, Ishan Kishan, Virat Kohli, KL Rahul. Obviously, Virat Kohli got a resounding highest number of votes with 51.9. Rohit Sharma, 20.4. KL Rahul, 16.7. Ishan Kishan, 11.1.
Well, it's a good thing that Virat Kohli bats at 3, right? If he didn't even bat at 3, he wouldn't have got a game.
Yeah, he wouldn't have got a game today, yes.
Yeah. Did he go around the ground and thank them?
I disagree. You know, I have a different point. I have a different point. I think it's a conspiracy against the Indian batters. You know, India should have won the toss. India should have batted first, and the way they were going, 450, 460 would have happened. But on a serious note, I was talking to you yesterday, and when I got back, Isha, I think, had already left. And yesterday at the nets, it was Ishan Kishan having a go, Shreyas Iyer having a go, and Rohit Sharma having a go. How big is it for this Indian team now heading into Pakistan? Because let's face it, that's the bigger picture, the Pakistan game. To have at least Ishan get a semblance of a form, he was scratchy, but Shreyas Iyer looked batting like a dream, and the hitman was hitting it all over the park.
No, I think it is important, Diggy, because whilst Shubman Gill looks like getting a clean bill of health, he still needs a little bit more time to come up to that competition mode. So he'll need a little bit more time, more time in the nets. Maybe if they can find somewhere a centre wicket for him and recreate a match scenario, that's really good. But I think for the next game, I don't think he'll be pushed. So therefore, Ishan Kishan getting some runs today is a very good thing for India, because now he's spent some time at the crease and he's got 40 odd runs, and he will be a little bit better prepared against this huge game on the 14th. So that's a good one. And also Shreyas Iyer, who also spent a little bit of time. I'm sure he would have preferred to have had more time, like a few others as well, but that's the way it is. So yeah, you're right that at least they've got something, some more batting time under themselves before coming to the big game.
Digvijay, we know that you're headed to that all-important game, and you will be getting us updates from there. Interesting to watch, definitely, Dav. That's the big one that both the teams, India and Pakistan, go in for the next one. That's the next one they will be playing. Is this where they kind of do a one-up on each other on the points tally right up at the beginning of the tournament?
Well, they both had 2 wins, so this is a top-of-the-table clash along with New Zealand when they eventually play. So it was important for Pakistan to win that game and won it really well. So their confidence levels are up also.
Elevated.
So they have landed in Ahmedabad. I've watched them coming out of the bus, you know, chest puffed out, head up high, and they're looking very confident. And same with this Indian team. Now they've had 2 very good wins, particularly in Chennai, I reckon, better than this, having been 3 wickets down for 2, and from that position to come and win, it was a wonderful effort. So they are really on a roll as well. So we've got two teams, neighbours in the world, coming together, and it's going to be an absolute blockbuster. If you reckon we've had a couple of blockbusters, this is a bigger blockbuster.
Also, very interesting. Shubman, we've been getting a lot of questions, Tav, on your Know More from What More segment. And to this effect, Shubman asks, your preferred spin combination for the India versus Pakistan match? Jadeja Kuldeep, Kuldeep Ashwin, Ashwin Kuldeep.
Well, I would answer it in this way. At today's game, there's only 2 spinners because the conditions suggested that. I don't think that's going to change going into Ahmedabad. Whatever these conditions suggest, that's what the respective 11 will be. You cannot just go, just because you've got a good spinner in Ashwin, that you will automatically pick him. It doesn't work that way. And I'm very sure that his presence in the team or his absence in the team will be purely determined of the conditions that they face. They know the opposition. Oppositions, how many left-handers have they got? Saud Shakil, good player. Imam Ul-Haq, if he plays, a left-hander. That's about it, isn't it? There's not many more. So if they feel that they need an off-spinner for the lefty, then maybe, maybe Kuldeep might not play. I don't know. But he's bowling well. He's bowling really good stuff with his wrist spinner. Not easy to read if there's a little bit of movement. The guy's good. I would almost, if you're only playing two spinners, I'd keep the same 11. Except for maybe Sky. Diggy wants Sky.
What about your favourite combination, Digvijay? If you heard the options, I can repeat them. Jadeja Kuldeep, Kuldeep Ashwin, Ashwin Kuldeep.
No, my option is play all three.
Oh.
Play all three. My option, play all three. Because I have just talking to some media colleagues who were in Ahmedabad for that opening game of the World Cup. They're saying, don't be surprised if it starts to turn very early.
Well, that's what I mean. So if the conditions suit, play all three. That's what I'm saying. You know, I'm not suggesting one or the other, but if the conditions are the same as what we have today, good batting wicket, keep the same. If not, what a play to bring in, Ashwin. Oof, really good player. He won't let you down.
While we talk about these two titans heading into the next fixture on Saturday, Hamza Haq says England is the best team and it's the favourite team. Do you gentlemen agree with that, or we obviously have to still wait and watch?
Well,
but then
no, Jiggy's shaking his head, but I wouldn't necessarily agree with that now.
Yeah.
You know, we know what they're capable of. We've seen them over the last few years, and they are, you know, something else. Now Ben Stokes is back in this 11, which makes them even stronger.
Yeah.
But you know, I think in this competition, under these conditions, it's a little too much to say yet. So I think we need to wait a little bit longer. We know their potential, and they showed a little bit of it at Dharamsala, and you know, that's one venue that perhaps, you know, they're going to like. So let's just wait a little bit longer before we agree to that. Diggy might feel the same way, I think.
if you can hear us.
Yes, I actually do. In fact, that's why I was shaking my head. Of course, I can. There's a bus going by next to me, but I can still hear you. You know,
among other
for
things.
England, what I feel is they haven't convinced us, have they, Dav?
No.
They haven't convinced us. On a slow wicket where it sort of wasn't coming on, they struggled against New Zealand, and they're going to face much better spinners. With all due respect to Mitchell Santner and Glenn Phillips, they're going to face much better spinners when, say, they face India or other teams like, you know, who are out there. So I just think that what we've seen from India, the first game, this game was expected to be a run feast, but as you pointed out earlier, when you bounce back in the face of adversity, you know, everyone who was in this press box has basically come here from Chennai. I'm the unlucky one to make my first game of the World Cup here on home base in Delhi. But they were saying that even there in Chennai, the word was that if that catch had gone down, if Kohli had got out, it would have been very difficult for India. So the Indian team actually ran up Mount Everest and actually sort of got that win.
Yep.
And that sort of is more emphatic. The way I didn't expect Pakistan to chase down that big score yesterday, but they did so with ease, you know. And these are the kind of performances that you remember. New Zealand, the way they hammered England.
Yep.
So we haven't seen that sort of performance, Isha, from England yet.
Yeah.
The other thing I will say,
Good point.
Isha and Diggy, is that we are at the very early stages of this tournament.
Yes.
And you need to peak at the right time. So I'm a little wary also of that phrase, early winners, late losers.
Yeah.
So, you know, you need to do enough to win, obviously, to get to the semi-final and then, you know, save your best cricket for the final. But, you know, important also not to burn your bridge and just peak too early. You know, you go hell for leather, you think, oh, this team's going to be really good. And then, you know, you might get a loss and then all of a sudden you come down, you lose confidence and you might string out one or two losses together. So maybe, you know, peaking also is something to keep in mind with teams like Australia and England.
That's an interesting point. Well, on a lighter note, Dav, I wanted to ask Digvijay if you witnessed the bearing of hatchet between Naveen Haq and Virat Kohli there. Did you actually see that hug happening? Did you actually witness it? Because social media is rife with comments and memes about it. Did you see that?
But I actually saw it, but I can tell you that I was out on the balcony and just trying to watch the game because the press boxes are very enclosed, right? You don't get the atmosphere. So poor Naveen-ul-Haq was on the boundary and he was getting an absolute rollicking from the Delhi fans. Each time the ball came towards him or each time he turned around. So I think he decided, okay, you know what? Let's get the crowd on my side. Let's go and say hi to Virat Kohli and exchange phone numbers. But I think after that they piped down a bit.
No, that's a good thing, really.
That's a good thing, yes.
It's a wonderful show of friendship, which is what should be the case. Okay, they had a bit of a spicy interaction, which was really good for everybody.
Yeah.
But deep down there, fellow professionals. And when you're fellow professionals, you respect each other, regardless of one guy being so, experiencing the other guy not. But it's really nice to see, and I'm glad it happened.
We expect to see that, a lot of that in the...
Are you sure, Dav? Isha, hang on. Isha, I have just one question. Are you sure they weren't discussing shoe sizes?
Well, I don't know, but maybe on the surface, yeah, mate,
Well, that's what he said, right? My shoes, that's what he said in the IPL. You're not fit enough to tie my shoelaces.
Correct, yeah. But inside, I just wonder what he really thinks, Wait till the IPL next year, I'll get you.
Hoping to witness a lot of these fun off-field antics as we head into India-Pakistan as well. That fixture has had a history of these, tons of those.
Yeah, that's not good. What I saw in '96 too, that was horrible, but it backfired on Amir Sohail for making those gestures. But these fixtures are, are chock full of battles. You ask for five battles in this team for the next match in that game. It's going to be a lot more than 5 battles. Everybody that gets their ball in the hand and they bowl to the opponent.
But Dav, if I could interrupt, there's no needle anymore in India-Pakistan games. What you said about 96, Gambhir versus Afridi, they've all become so nice. I think it's the IPL, I know Pakistan players are not playing, but because the IPL, when everyone's playing India, everyone's sort of on their best behavior. Where's that edge to that India-Pakistan? We were discussing Javed Mirdad, how he used to needle the Indian bowlers, Kiran More jumping up and down in 92. Where's it gone? Where's that added spice?
But I think once that game starts, though, once they cross that line in a World Cup fixture,
when you have your country jersey
you
on,
will not give any quarter. You want to go out there and you just need to do everything in your power within the rules to ensure that you win every little battle on that field so your team wins the game. And I think it's going to be an absolute beauty. Really, I do. Both teams are confident, and it's the team that's able to keep their head longer was the team that I think will determine the winner.
Digvijay, since you've been in the media box all day, we thought we'll take advantage of that a little bit. What are you hearing about this fixture? What are you hearing from your colleagues? This all-important clash between India and Pakistan. Do you think it's going to be a run fest? Is it a spinner's game? What exactly is the chat around over there?
Well, I think it's obviously not too many people have seen the wicket apart from those who were there for that England-New Zealand game. But what I'm picking up is that the atmosphere is not going to be very welcoming to the Pakistan team like they've got it in Hyderabad. It's going to be 120,000 or more. It's the biggest cricket stadium in the world. It's going to be hostile. It's really going to be hostile. And as Dav said, it's about how they manage to sort of, in football you have the home and away matches, right? And it does make a difference. This is going to be a test for Pakistan, not for India, because the Indians are going to get cheered. Every run they take is going to have 120,000 people cheering in there. And there'll be a lot of boos and all of that for Pakistan. So the pressure's actually on Pakistan. And I was speaking to Dav before this World Cup. And a lot of what Babar Azam was saying, we're already looking ahead to the India-Pakistan game. For India, these matches don't matter anymore because, yes, India-Pakistan, there is obviously the edge. But India going in sort of having never lost to Pakistan in these matches, it's for Pakistan to upset the Indian apple cart, not the other way around.
Yeah, absolutely. And I can tell you from experience that every person in Pakistan, will put pressure on the team. They want, come hell or high water, for Pakistan to beat India, and they haven't done it in the past. And I tell you, it'll be a a public holiday. If there's a working day, it's a public holiday. They declare a public holiday when Pakistan play India.
It's anyway a Saturday and a Sunday, Dab.
Okay.
It's a Saturday game. It's anyway a holiday on Sunday.
We started, a week ago, and
No,
it's
but
one
you know
day just
what?
melts into another.
We're all working, Digvijay. Just a reminder. You and I, Dab, we're all here at WION. You know the
The
ground.
holiday in Pakistan is a Sunday. It's anyway a
Yeah,
Sunday.
okay,
Yeah.
They
right,
win, they lose, it's a holiday.
Yeah, but I tell you, the pressure on Pakistan from their own country is huge. You know, as a coach, you take pressure off, don't you? There's enough pressure just by walking out to play. It's a matter of, as a coach, to take pressure off and just ensure that they're in a good state of mind. But they're reminded all the time, you got to win, you got to win. And that can be a little bit off-putting.
Overbearing, yeah.
I want to make a point. Isha, I want to make a point of exactly this. I'm actually scrolling through my text messages.
Yeah.
Now, this is our colleague Anas Malik, who's actually in Lahore, right? In Islamabad.
Okay.
And he sent me this text. This is a press release by the Pakistan Cricket Board. And he says, the chairman of the PCB, Zaka Ashraf, is traveling to India tomorrow for the India-Pakistan game. Blah, 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 blah. I'm traveling to India to motivate my team, and my message to them before the India contest will be to play fearlessly as they've been playing throughout the event. He doesn't need to motivate them. It's an India-Pakistan game. This is the pressure Dav's talking about.
And I will guarantee you there will be a meeting where the management will have to call the players into a room and the chairman will come and talk. Because the chairman, as much as he's got good intentions, it's counterproductive, really. All he needs to do is say, boys, go and enjoy it, have fun, just try your best. That's all. Oh, I've seen it. It happened when I was
Let's
coach.
get some more secrets out from Dav, Isha. He's been Pakistan coach. Let's get some more secrets out from Dav. He knows more about these intrigues in Pakistan cricket.
I mean, it happens, and they're well-intentioned, no question. They're very well-intentioned, but knowing cricket... most times chairmen don't know cricket. Ramesh Raja was the chairman for all. He knew a little bit. But generally, the people who run the game right at the top, they haven't played too much. So they're well-intentioned, but they're not quite sure how to go about it. So they feel, if I don't do it, then I'm not, I'm not doing a good job.
Motivating them enough, yeah.
But, that's the way it is there, and it's accepted.
Also, since we were talking about the pitch in Ahmedabad and how that match is going to turn out to be, Ahuja on our social media has made a very interesting point there, Digvijay and Dav as well, if you could just hear this. Now that we have won and Rahul Sharma, brilliant innings, let's talk about that pitch. What have they even made? You can't make pitches like these for World Cups. Reverse the type and make a pitch completely for bowling and not suitable for batting, and everyone will be angry.
If you make a pitch for bowlers, everyone will be angry.
Not suitable, no. So basically what he's saying, I assume, is that if you do not make a pitch that is a run fest, viewers might not like watching it. However, he does feel that this is not how pitches should be for the World Cup.
Well, whatever it is, if it's a spinning wicket, so be it. It should spin right throughout. And that's what MS Dhoni said one day too, with Test match cricket. If you're going to prepare a pitch that spins, make it. Right in the first, ball one. And let it be the same right throughout for the 50 overs and the 100 overs. If not, make another one that's going to be flat and let it be the same. All we're asking for is the same conditions. Also, Diggy and Isha, this dew is coming in more and more now.
With the weather
that's going to play, I'm sure, be a factor in what teams will do when they win the toss. I got a feeling they might be chasing more now because of the dew.
All right.
They are going to be. They are going to be. And just talking about the pitch, Isha, just a point. Just talking about the pitch because you brought it up. I think a team will get more confidence the way they won against, say, an Australia when the chips were down on a wicket like that than this win.
Yeah.
I think for teams also.
Yeah.
So while the fans, the spectators want to see the runs that happened here, South Africa game, or the way Rohit Sharma played, but I just think that for a contest, if you really want a contest, a World Cup contest, then it's got to be tough for both.
Well, when it's difficult, players know about their teammates.
Yeah.
Who is the one that is really doing the hard work?
Yeah.
You know, and it's when it's tough. And players do well when it's tough. That's what separates the boys from the men. Yeah,
right.
I agree with you.
Yeah, so Ahuja has a point there, Digvijay. Okay, gentlemen, I think with that, we have come to the end of today's proceedings. Digvijay, thank you so much for joining us from the stadium and staying with us all through the day.
Make sure he packs his bag, properly.
Okay, you're leaving tomorrow, aren't you? No, or is he in?
Yeah.
Are you
yes,
in
I have to go back home and pack my bags, and I've got to be in office. I have a show with Dab in the morning.
I know.
Yeah, perfect. Okay,
I'm very committed, you know.
Well, we are aware. We will meet you tomorrow in office, and then we will, of course, get all the updates that you'll get us through the different venues that you'll be travelling at. Dav, that's all that we have in today's edition of World of Cricket. This is Isha signing off with Dav Watmore with me in the studios, and our sports editor Digvijay Singh Deo, also who joined us from the stadium today. Thank you so much. Stay tuned.